I want to use my story, my struggles, and the things I'm going through to help somebody else. Nobody wants to talk about mental illness. No man wants to admit the weaknesses. Right now, I was diagnosed with mental illness, depression, anxiety to be the worst form of PTSD, but I've been going through a lot this year specifically. You know, um, my wife has been gone since February, and something that just basically flipped my whole world upside down. I was already dealing with the mental illness as it is. I would use smoking, drinking, and the occasional getting attention from the people I shouldn't get attention from. Women, flirting, stepping over the line. And with her being gone, it's only made the mental illness worse. I've gone days, multiple days of not eating. Days of not wanting to get out of bed. Days of driving and hoping somebody kills me. I literally legit wanted to die. Came to a point where I just felt like I was worthless. You lose the love of your life. You know what I mean? And no matter the things I've messed up, the things she's done in her past, and the ups and downs, and every relationship goes through pain. It's the love of my life. And to lose the one good thing I felt like I had at the time, or losing, so my world is shattered before me. I can recall a night, 12 o'clock at night, driving and calling my mother and said, "Mom, I want to die. I don't want to live anymore." And tears flowing from my eyes as I'm speaking to my mom and telling her, I don't want to be here anymore. And she's telling me, "But what about your son? Or what about this?" As a father, I can't imagine my son calling me saying that. And it's been hard. I feel like I've lost myself through all of this. It's home, I'm in it by myself. And it's hard because it's like, you do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? You sacrifice, and this house is designed specifically for my life. So it's almost like a constant reminder to mess with my depression even more, So I'm not afraid to admit that I wanted to die and I wanted to kill myself. And I've thought about it on multiple occasions. I've hoped I would get hit riding. When I would ride my motorcycle, I'd be going 160, 180, hoping that something would happen, for the pain to be gone. I would just do things dangerously to hope something would happen. It sucks to say that I was in a dark place. I was thinking suicidal, man, my wife's been gone for 11 months. I would say 8.5 of those months, 9 months, I was in that place. And I think the only reason I didn't do it is because of God. Even though I was going through all this, and it literally feels like your life is crushing before you, before I would think about doing it or trying to do it, I would get peace or some type of joy. And it was like him stopping me, I think it's a blessing that I never bought my gun yet. Because I wasn't thinking about my son. I wasn't thinking about my parents. I was just thinking about ending it. And then if I die, I'll be in a better place. I don't have to feel the pain no more. It sucks to look at your son and him tell you that he wants his parents together, And there's nothing you can do about it at that time. And even though you're trying to be a good parent and love on them and have fun with them, you're smiling, but inside you're dying. You know what I'm saying? Because you're struggling with something real. It's different from a gunshot. It's different from breaking your leg. It's something you can see. You can't see what's going on in your head. And that's the hard part. So I started seeing a therapist again, and I see a psychiatrist. And like I said, I mean, multiple days I didn't want to get up. I'd wake up and just be in bed for 6 to 8 hours and not eat. And just be there. Staring at the ceiling and just be there. Feeling like you're worthless. And that's really what you start to feel like when the depression hits you that bad, you know? My anxiety hasn't been as bad, but my depression's been real. And it's hard when you feel like no one's understanding you. Not because of just my wife, but just I've been dealing with mental illness now for 2 years. And it's hard to feel like let's take Thanksgiving for an example. You're in a room full of people that love you, and you know they love you, and you feel completely alone. Like you're there, but you're not there, you know? And it's hard to feel like that. Like you know your mom and pops love you. You know your aunts, uncles, whatever, they love you. And yet you feel completely isolated and by yourself. And you can't enjoy normal things. You're not enjoying being around your spouse. You're not enjoying being around your son. Doesn't mean I don't love them. But something here is not allowing me to do it. I don't know what it is, honestly. I know I've been diagnosed. So it helps me wrap around, okay, there is something. And when I would have visions of my wife and my son dying, I knew something was wrong. Because no one should be thinking about their family dying and seeing it happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can get a concern, but when it's just going and going and going and going and going and it doesn't stop, it's much further than a concern. And with my wife leaving, it only made everything enhanced. You know what I'm saying? It enhanced everything. It became the one person I love more than anything in this world. And I would say that I love her more than my son, my father, my mother, my sister, anybody. And it's gone. I feel like you lost a whole part of you. Like literally, it's like you just took my spleen and my liver and the things I need to live with, you ripped it out of me. I get it. Shut up. I understand. It's like, man, somebody you've been with since she was 15 and you 17 years old, and it's just like, you feel like you became a worthless person to them. Like, you mean nothing. You know, like, my wife and I shared a baby. We've lost a baby together. We've been married for 6 years. We've been together for 10. So it's hard to wrap my brain around that. You know what I'm saying? I could have been a better husband. I should have loved her more. I should have been more gracious to her. Not been so critical of her. Now, could I have said things differently? Yeah. Can I have approached the situation differently? Yes. And I think with me going through my mental illness and trying to figure myself out, because I don't know what's going on here, I was spazzing out on her. I'm not proud of the mistakes I made. I'm not perfect, nowhere near it. But I would say that through this pain of this year has made me better. Sure, I wanted to die and I wanted to kill myself on multiple occasions. But if it wasn't through the pain and potentially losing the person I love more than anything, I would have been changing. And it's not to say that I'm only changing because of her. I'm changing because something was wrong. And the more I saw something was wrong, the more I personally went to God. It says, if you have mental health issues, Talk about it. Be open about it. Find somebody that you can trust and confide in them. Because if not, you may not be here tomorrow. Because it will consume you. I think talking about it definitely helps. But, to do drugs, to be sleeping with a bunch of people, to be drinking all the time, to be partying all the time, I would say those are bad coping mechanisms. Did I start falling in that rabbit hole a little bit? Yeah. You should smoke weed a lot. To the point I'm smoking multiple times a day. The only time I felt happy. The only time I was eating. The only time I was sleeping. Because not only do I have mental health, I have sleep apnea and insomnia. Which all they do is enhance one another. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like if I can use my story, if I can use me being open and saying, I have a problem. I struggle with this too. I've once been in that place of wanting to die. And it's not just because of my wife's situation, but it's because that's enhanced my situation mentally. I've been there. I know how you feel. I know what you're feeling. I know how it feels to feel by yourself. I know how it feels to wake up and not want to wake up. I know how it is not to eat for days on end. I know how it feels to just be wallowing in your own sorrow, and your own brain will not stop thinking about all the garbage going on in your life. But I'm here to still say that you are worthy. Your life is worth living. You can see another day. What made me realize it wasn't worth killing myself, I would say the cliche answer would be like my son. Oh, my son, I had him to live for. That wasn't it. Oh, your wife can one day come back. That wasn't it. Oh, you have family here and your friends love you and it would suck. They would hate for your pain to cause them pain because of the fact that you selfishly killing yourself. That wasn't it. The more I, in my personal, read my Bible, the more I prayed, the more I would actually allow myself to grieve and cry and allow myself to hurt and not hold it in and just tell God, take it, because I can no longer do it. It's the more I started healing. Does that mean I'm healed? No. But I don't necessarily want to kill myself anymore. Am I still struggling with my depression? Yes. Am I still struggling with my anxiety? Yes. But do I want to off myself today? No. And for me, the credit goes to him. All credit goes to him. Because the more pain I felt, the more I ran to him. The more I would cry and say, I need your help. Now that doesn't mean he was opening up his eyes like the scene of Lion King, Simba, you know who you are. Nothing like that. But I would get this peace every now and then. I would read little scriptures that would give me a peace. I would have friends who would just, I'm here. What I could say for people who know people who are going through mental illness, sometimes they don't need advice. Sometimes they just want you to sit with them so that they know you're there. You don't have to talk, you don't have to do anything but just to be there so that they know you're there. You know what I'm saying? There was one particular scripture, actually 3 weeks ago, that just kind of resonated with me. I prayed and I'm like, yo, God, I need a clear clarity sign. And I wake up and the scripture is, for we walk by faith and not by sight. It spoke to me in multiple ways, because my marriage life is done. I don't see my son as much as I would like to. Holidays are coming. I know I'm about to be by myself. Financially, it's not the best. So if anything, I'm walking all by faith. Because by my sight, nothing looks good. So for me, that was like a reminder of like, just keep walking how you're walking because I got you. And that's something that I'm just holding on to in my heart. You know? Is it suck going to bed by yourself every night? And you be with the same person for years, sleeping next to them? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that you have to see your son on a few day basis. Yeah, it sucks. Does it suck that you bought a brand new house in faith for your wife, for your son, and you doing all the bills by yourself, and you don't know how you're making it? It sucks. Does it suck that your appetite ain't there and you eat maybe once a day because of your depression, and that sometimes you try to eat, you feel nauseous in your stomach because you can't force it down? It sucks. But for some reason, he gives me peace. For some reason, he gets me to wake up the next day and to pray and to continue to just walk in that faith that the sun will come back up again. So that's why for me, I'm willing to use me. I'm not trying to be a therapist. I'm not trying to be a psychologist. I'm just willing to use my story, my hurts, my pain to help that one person who's about to take all those pills. To help that one person before they take that jump off the ledge. To help that one person who has the Glock ready and is loaded. So that they don't take those decisions. And they push them away and realize that their life is worth something. That they are worthy. That one day for them too, the sun will come up again.